wasn't necessarily writing what was in my heart. I was writing what I thought that person would want to read. And in a sense, I lost what was true, the real me that I'd fallen in love with. I would focus on one word, just finding the right word, the word that would make them think I was smart or deep or empathetic or some kind of great writer that I would know such a word. I couldn't just say the road was curvy. I had to say the road was curve. See, I can't even say it. Never write a word you can't say, because the readers won't believe it. Curvilinear. I would lose the story, lose the truth of it. It took me a long time to get back to the truth of writing. I had to start over in a sense. Go back to that childlike faith in truth when my heart was full of it and I could stuff the page full of it as well. I was about 30 when it happened. My grandfather had just passed away. What my grandfather was to me was a beautiful, special thing that I wanted to write it. Put it out there so I could look at it. One word turned into two, and two into three, and then 1,000, and then 10,000, and then I stopped at around 40,000. At first I only intended to write it for myself and for family, people who really knew my grandfather. But then I thought, why not get it published and just see what happens? So I did, and people have read it. Friends and family, folks who knew my grandfather, people who grew up or moved into this area, vacationers, and even people who have never even heard of Gatlinburg, Tennessee. But when I hear from these readers, whoever or wherever they are, the response I get is always the same. You could have been writing about my grandfather, or my uncle, or my grandmother, or my father. Or, this is my hometown. These are my people, my stories. And it makes me feel like a real writer, to know that we are all of one world, and that maybe the few words I've written have made us realize how small this world is, and how close we can all be to each other just by reading and writing. And so this is the story. It's a simple story, really. Nothing too flashy, nothing too monumental, just a simple story. But art hides in the simple things. There is art in the way the old lady shops for her groceries. There is art in the way this man cuts firewood. There is art in the way this boy baits a hook. There is art in the way that girl eats an ice cream cone. There is art in the way he drives his car to work. There is art in the way she folds your shirts. There is art in the way she loves you. So as you read or listen, don't be surprised if you see yourself there, for there is art in you. Your life is full of it, a lot more than 40,000 words worth. This is the story of a ride that started over 30 years ago, a ride that I'm still on in my own way. And what the book is about, basically, is growing up in this area with my grandfather. He was a trader. He'd trade on anything, trade on lawnmowers or pocket knives, livestock, old cars, pretty much anything you could hold in your hands, he would trade on it. And he knew just about everybody in the county. And if you didn't know, it was because you passed him too fast. If you passed him too fast, he might not know you, but if you passed him at just the right speed, I guarantee you, he either knew you or you would know him fast, because he would get to know you. And he lost his driver's license when I was about 15. And we got to where I would ride him around on Saturdays, and he would always call me up on Saturday morning and ask me what I was doing today, and I'd say nothing. He said, well, why don't you come and ride me to Newport? That was just his way of saying, take me somewhere. Sometimes we'd go to